Park here. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Juneteenth 2025 here. So several times I was trying to get a stream going on my way over here using Streamlabs and I had problems. So I switched to TikTok and then I remembered that I got the YouTube app. Now, you know, I normally stream here on YouTube at lunchtime, so I figured we'll go back to YouTube. We'll give this a try. Chris, yeah, I saw you were trying to tune in on my Streamlab there, but I couldn't. I don't think you were able to see me or hear me here. Is everything okay here? Thanks for being persistent here. Say, hey, happy Juneteenth. Welcome to the Bean here, Cloud Gate. You guys seeing it? I think the symphony's practicing here, so we'll head over to the Pritzker Pavilion after we walk around the Bean here. We'll let people. Lambie T, you can hear and see me. Thanks, Lambie T. Yeah, I saw you were on TikTok there. I appreciate it. As soon as I got on TikTok, I remembered that I have this YouTube app, and we tried it when we were at Spring, Texas there on Thursday, and it worked until I went inside that toy store, and then it degraded and it got all blurry. But we'll stay outside here, so we'll try the YouTube app. And I usually use Streamlabs, but we had some technical difficulties. So here we're at the Bean here, Cloud Gate, and yeah, we saw that cloud column in Houston. I posted that rerun on TikTok from when we were there last Friday in Houston, down by Rice University. I heard the symphony's practicing, so let's go over here. We'll leave the Bean for now. We'll head over to Daley Plaza, see if they're still doing the farmers market. I don't think they got any official Juneteenth activities at Daley Plaza. I checked. It's probably because the courthouse is closed today. The Cook County courthouse is closed because it's a federal holiday, also a state holiday, Juneteenth here. So hey, the symphony's practicing. So let's go over here. Let's check it out here. Thanks for tuning in. Taco, how you doing there, Denise? Yeah, better late than never there. Hey, you hear the symphony? Taco, the symphony's playing here. So thanks for tuning in here, everybody here. YouTube. And yeah, we've done this last, there it is. They're practicing, they're probably practicing for their summer series. But hey, hello, Denise. Grant Park Music Festival. Hey, if you just joined here, we're in Millennium Park here. 2004 here. That's when they call this Pritzker Pavilion now. It's Frank Gehry, the architect, the Grant Park Music Festival. They're rehearsing. Next concert's a Friday, 6:30, Saturday at 8. Coming up here. There's the schedule. You can check online there. They practice usually at lunchtime. So you can get a free concert here. So I would love to stick around for the music there. We'll keep, since I'm on a limited time schedule here, I'm on my lunch break at lunch, and I didn't get started on time because I was having technical difficulties. Here, we'll head past the Bean again. We'll go over by the Crown Fountain, then we'll head through the loop. I want to get by Daley Plaza to see if the farmers market's going on. I don't know if there's any other activities for Juneteenth. I know they raised a flag on Monday. I was out of town when they did that. And we'll check it out. But good to be back in Chicago. We got back from our Texas trip here, and now I'm back downtown here. Been in the office there. Good to connect with my colleagues there. Hey Pete, how you doing there? Augusta, isn't that great? Yeah, we're back. Indy, how you doing there? Lorraine, thanks everybody. If I missed anybody there, I'm back to the YouTube app, so let me know if the video quality's okay. We used it on Thursday when we were in Spring, Texas there, and it worked fine until I went indoors. So I'll stay outdoors, and hopefully the stream will be good quality through the whole way here. Strawberry picking, hey, that's good. Pete's tuning in from Hazlet, Michigan there. Yeah, thanks, Augusta. Thanks for tuning in here. Yeah, we'll go past the Crown Fountain here. There's another streamer there. Got the gimbal with the stick there. That's a nice setup there. I noticed that. But here, back in downtown Chicago, happy Juneteenth. I'll be saying it all day here. And hey, I like his hairdo there. Look at that. See, the only thing I don't like about, well, not the only thing, besides the video quality issues with the YouTube streaming app, the actual app, is when I try to zoom in, you see how it snaps. It's just a function of YouTube app there. It snaps when I try to zoom in. So here, we'll head around here. You know where we're at here. We're back at the Crown Fountain here, part of Millennium Park. They got these sculptures, Franz West, Stonehenge. What they call this. This reminds me of like Beetlejuice stuff. I don't know why. It reminds me of that, the first movie. But here, let's see if the Crown Fountain, see if it spits out some water there. There, they're checking out the sculpture there. Hey, Lorraine's tuning in. That's good. Yeah, Rob on the road there, UK, that's good. People tuning in from all over, that's great. So, better late than never. I didn't get my stream started on time here, but hey, here's kids splashing the fountain. We'll see if they pucker up and give us a show here. Hey, they're smiling, so maybe they're going to do something here. There's another person there. People running around here. Come on, spit out some water on us. Sometimes it takes it a while to get going here. Crown Fountain there. So here, if I head behind this, maybe they'll, hey, we got the food trucks. Yeah, YouTubers never late. We stream when we need to there. It's just like the Hobbit. Yeah, it sounds like J.R.R. Tolkien. You see in the back, they got water here. This is all summer long. There's the University Club and Road Building. We'll head through the loop here. We'll see if we get these fountains spitting out water here. It's a good way to cool down on a. It's not even that hot today. It's just, you know, upper 70s, not too bad at all. You got this nice little splash park here. Hey, Christopher, how you doing there? Yeah, happy Juneteenth there. Thanks for tuning in there. And Valerie, yeah, that's great. Yeah, you know where we're at here. We're at the Crown Fountain here. I'm waiting for him to spit out the water here. Finally got the live stream going here. So Christopher, I'm using the YouTube app here. I had problems with Streamlabs, but here we'll see if we get these things spitting out water, and then we'll head into the loop. It always drives me nuts here because I'm like waiting around, and it seems like it takes forever. I'm trying to fill in the airspace here before they spit out the water, but we'll give it a try here. There's a symphony playing in the Pritzker Pavilion there, and they're practicing for it. Christopher, thanks for the gift there, appreciate it. Yeah, I see. I guess they updated the app there. They thanks for the gift there. I appreciate you can tip right in within the app here. That's the good thing about using the YouTube app. See, I see the gifts there. I guess they've updated that. That's good. And Streamlabs, I can't see the gifts, and that's why I know you use the Prism or something else, the other live streaming app that floats on top of YouTube there. Then you can stream in the landscape. This always drives me nuts. I'm always waiting for the thing to spit out water here, to feel like I'm waiting forever and ever, wasting time when I could be walking through the loop here. But since I've invested so much time in it, we got to wait till they actually spit out the water here. So there it comes. So they're about ready. There it goes. Yeah, look at that. There it is. Yeah, the kids love it there. Look at that, spitting out the water. There, look at this one. You can really see it there. Look at the clouds. Hey, Crown Fountain here, Millennium Park. Look how nice that looks. See, both of them are doing it at the same time there. Look at that. Yeah, good time there. Look at that. Oh, it doesn't last long. And see people sitting here. We'll head over to the taco trucks. There it is, Crown Fountain. Yeah, well framed. Yeah, the screams, it's just, you know, excitement out of simple pleasures in life, things that are free. Just playing in a splash park on a summer, well, early summer day. I guess we can call it summer here. There's the artist. But here, we'll try to get across the road here. I think the light's changing here. Yeah. So here, yeah, happy Juneteenth from Chicago. Hope you're having a good holiday here. There's the Monroe Building, University Club here. We're crossing Michigan Avenue. We'll head over to Daley Plaza. I'm sure they got the farmers market going, but we'll see if there's any other activities going on here. Hey, at least the app's working. And I should have just tried it right away. Those are those umbrellas over there. And we'll head right down Monroe Street, and we'll go up to Daley Plaza. Hey, what is this? Amarino here. They got some restaurant here. If you missed it earlier, we were by the Pritzker Band Shell. The symphony was practicing for their summer series, the Grant Park Music Festival. And there's times we spent the whole time there when they were doing the Star Wars. We would just sit in a chair and listen to it. But there are going to be concerts this weekend, I think Friday and Saturday. Free concerts in the park if you're downtown. There's Chicago Alley there. So here's the 55 East Monroe building. Here, there's the green line. There's the green line heading south on Wabash, the loop of Chicago. It's good to be back in Chicago. And yeah, Valerie, what's everybody doing there? Yeah, there's the Palmer House Hilton. Yeah, let's get across Wabash here. We got the light. But hey, we got the whole summer ahead of us. Get excited here. I'm just happy I get to walk in nice weather, even walking to work this morning. It was just such a pleasure walking to work in upper 60s. Very pleasant for walking. Look, here's underneath Wabash here. Now we're in the Loop of Chicago, looking up towards the Trump Tower. There's the AT&T building. Jewelers Row, Carson Prairie Scott. Memento. Choose any entrance. It's yours. Memento. This is our memento. Okay. Here's the Palmer House. We'll head up State Street a little bit. Hey, look at this. Framed by Memento, a window to Mexico's unapologetic creativity. Look at this artwork here. I like the little sequins here. They're out dancing on their heads there. Programmed the Toto Mall. Icons of Faith reimagined here. Framed by Memento there. So I guess there's, I gotta look into this Memento. There it is. Look at this awning here. I like that. I wonder what that lighting. Look at that interesting lighting they got up there. There, we'll head over to State Street. Palmer House Hilton there. Here's one of the entrances to the Palmer House Hilton. There you can see they got these nice murals down here. Look at these nice murals. You can see. You can walk through here. There you go. There goes the yellow train here. Hey, look at that pink line. Pink line heading through. Really short train, only 4 cars. Here, we'll head over to State Street. I'm blocking the alley here. I knew they were going to honk at me. Hey, Freda. Yeah, so Freda's Month in Paris here. I think that's at the Art Institute. The Art Institute, they got that. Carson Prairie Scott. We'll head around the main entrance here. David, how you doing there? Trish? Yeah, we'll go paint another. What else is happening here? Michael, thanks for being on. Yeah. Naya, how you doing? Yeah, State Street. Yeah, let's head up State Street on Juneteenth. Hey, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Drop LA. Hey, here's a big for lease opportunity. I think this was the DSW shoe store, but I'm not for sure. With Foot Lockers across the way, Five Below. JD Sports. But here's the beautiful, look at this, the Carson Prairie Scott, Louis Sullivan, his classic cast iron ornamentation here. Look at the beautiful large windows, the Chicago style windows, the architectural style. And there, Alice's Wonderland there, Joffrey Ballet, we were talking about that. See, now it's the Gothic Target. The bottom two stories are the Gothic Target. And the upper floors are now the Sullivan Center. It's offices. It used to be a department store that went all the way up to the top, several stories, just like the old Marshall Fields, but nothing lasts. At least it's still some sort of retail that you can use. There's a grocery in there, a full Target. We call it the Gothic Target here, the former Carson Prairie Scott here on State Avenue, or State Street. Trees, thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, Naya, hope you're feeling better. I know you. Hope that it wasn't just from the dentist there. Well, here we'll show you the amazing entrance here. And we'll cross the street here. We'll film it from the other side here. We just got the light to cross the street here. There's a number 3. There goes a ladder truck. Look at that. So as we cross the street here, I'll be able to back away as we cross State Street. There's the entrance to the Carson Prairie Scott there. Louis Sullivan. Amazing detail. There you can look up State Street to the Chicago Theater, and there we'll head up this way. But yeah, look at the amazing detail to the main entrance to the former Carson Prairie Scott. Now it's the Gothic Target there, and this whole building here that you see there, Chicago style windows, more windows than wall. And steel frame construction made that possible, the Chicago style. You see it in this building, the Chicago style windows. This is an early vintage skyscraper, the Chicago building. We'll go up to the Reliant building. And State Street. I stepped on something sticky there. Hopefully that's it there. Sharon, how you doing there? Yeah, Rainy B. Thanks everybody. Oh, Randy B, yeah, you said you were in town. Your son graduated, or yeah, sorry I missed you. I was in Texas, but thanks for tuning in. Here's a map of the Loop here. Got all the stores there. Nordstrom Rack here. What time we got? See, that's the thing about the YouTube app. I can't see the time. I'll check my other phone here. Hey, we got 12:39 in the PM here. Thanks for tuning in here. Got a late start, but that's okay. Hey, Uniqlo. Nordstrom Rack. That's a nice bike. I like the basket there. Hey, they named the bike even. There's the big bus. You can take the bus tours. And a good way to get an overview. City. Here's the Reliance building. Another early vintage skyscraper built like in the 1890s, 32 North State. And tall and slender like a skyscraper should look. There's the former Marshall Fields, but now it's Macy's. And the Chicago Theater, you can see there's the Chicago Theater. We'll probably see it on the way back there. We might see it, the Chicago Theater on State Street. It's good to be back in Sweet Home Chicago here. So hey, yeah, let's head over to Daley Plaza. We'll walk one block over here. Happy Juneteenth. Hope everybody's having a good one here. Just heading through the Loop. Yeah, there you can see the Reliant building, the side of it. Comes some sirens. Yeah. Toronto, how you doing there, Shane? Aruza, how you doing there? Soundwave 45. Yeah, the Bears 85 team. The old Super Bowl shuffle team. Iron Mike Ditka, and we lost Steve McMichael. We're starting to lose people from that team, you know. And yeah, look at these beautiful, look at the detailing on, this is the Washington Hall. There's a food court there, a food hall. And look at that. Look at that ghost sign. It says Boston store way up there, fading away. They put an advertisement way at the top of that building. There's a brick wall up there. Morningstar Investments here. We'll head by CBS News. And we're heading over towards Daley Plaza here. Loop of Chicago. So I guess they're not having the farmers market today because it's Juneteenth. It's probably because the courthouse is closed. So they're not even having the farmers market today. I thought they would have some official activities, but, well, let's see. Maybe they got something going on here. Usually there's a farmers market, but there's nothing going on at Daley Plaza. Okay. So here we'll circle back around. Since there's, I mean, they got the flag. See that flag there? We'll show the flag. They raised that. See, there's the American flag. I think that's for Juneteenth there. And then they got pride flags and other flags there on Daley Plaza. There it is. Yeah, see, it has the date. It has the date, the 19th, 1865 on that flag. And that's when Galveston learned of the news that the Confederacy lost the Civil War and the Union was victorious. And it's such a shame it took so long for the news to get there. And that's what Juneteenth commemorates there. When the news reached Galveston, people celebrated, which was great. Here's the First Methodist Church, Daley Plaza. It's closed because it's a federal holiday. The courthouse is closed, so they closed the plaza so people wouldn't have to work on the farmers market there. Hey, that's a nice Wrangler. Look at the tires on that Jeep. Parking underneath the Block 37 here. Here's the Goodman Theater. Yeah, let's head up to the Riverwalk. Let's head up to the Riverwalk. We'll check out the Chicago Theater. There's the Thompson Center being renovated. Let's get across the street here. Got 8 seconds here. This is there's the Nederlander. We go by it all the time, but it's good to be back here. Just checking out what's happening in the Loop here on June the 19th. Okay, so I was in Texas when the No Kings protest was going on. It seems like they had everything under control. I lived through 2020. Yeah, there was more significant storefronts boarded up, what you would call looting and property damage. It was more prevalent in 2020 after George Floyd. I don't see any evidence of any buildings boarded up or windows broken. They were largely peaceful protests. from what I understood. I know there were protests in Houston. It was nationwide, and there was a parade in Washington, D.C., as we know. Here's 25 years Broadway in Chicago. Here we're heading underneath the marquee for the Nederlander Theater. It used to be the Oriental Theater. Before that, it was the Iroquois Theater. There was a horrible fire in the Iroquois Theater back 1900-something, and several hundred people died. It's horrible. But so therefore, some people say the Nederlander Theater is haunted, and any place there's a tragedy that happens, of course, it'll lead to hauntings. Here's the we're back at State Street here. I went to cruise by Daley Plaza, see if we'll head right up past the Chicago Theater here. Let's see who's playing at the Chicago Theater. There, people crossing the street here. It's a 62 bus to Harlem. There, Chicago, Harlem Avenue. Hey, the Rose, July 8th. Jeezy, August the 9th. There you see the Jewelers Building behind the Chicago Theater here, State Street, Chicago, Illinois. The Fray's going to be at the Chicago Theater August the 15th. Here's the Gene Siskel Film Center. We go by it all the time. Here's the Red Line subway stop to the Lake stop here on the Red Line subway. Here's the Chicago Theater. Jeff Goldblum and the Mildred's going to be at the Chicago Theater. This Snitzer Orchestra, July the 2nd. So Jeff Goldblum's going to be at the Chicago Theater. That would be awesome. Great guy. And see the Torture Museum. Look at the skyscraper there, the density. The Joffrey Ballet is above the Walgreens here. And here's the Channel 7 News. They're doing the lunch broadcast. There they are. Yeah. And there's the flag. Here's the SB in Chicago. Happy Juneteenth here. And we'll get across the street here. We'll head up to the Riverwalk here. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to Chicago here. Loop of Chicago. State and Lake Station. There's Chicago Theater. Jimmy Carr, June the 20th. Ryan Adams, June the 21st. Daniel Tosh, June 25th and 26th. But Jeff Goldblum, July the 2nd. Chicago Theater there. That'll be a fun show. Looking down State Street. There's the Muddy Waters mural here. Chicago Blues. And here we'll go across the street here. Just waiting for the light to change here. Vicky, how you doing there? Dagny. Yes, any part of the city could be a target area for violence. I don't know why or for looting. It happened in Chicago, it happened in New York, it happened in LA, it happened in many other cities. I can't speculate. Of course, we can go down many different scenarios, and look at Minnesota. Violence can happen anywhere, even in the rural parts of people's homes in suburbia. And there's violence on the left. There's violence on the right. I hope people calmer heads would prevail. And I'm for peaceful protest. I'm a hippie, but we're idealists, so we lose because look at these wars breaking out in the Middle East. It's been going on. We still got the Ukraine-Russia war. I don't see things calming down. Hopefully, we'll be praying for peace. I certainly hope this doesn't lead to a larger quagmire, and we'll see what the people in charge do. It's all beyond my control anyway. So we do the best we can here. We're going to enjoy Juneteenth, celebrate the day, and keep on trucking here. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Welcome to Chicago. Here we're up at Wacker Drive here. You can see the Marina Towers. There's Alice of Fishers in Wonderland. There's somebody peeling out here. So we went by the Chicago Theater. There's the Trump Tower, the Wrigley Building, the Tribune. We went by that this morning. So you can get down to the lower level. Here, let me show you what this looks like. So you go down to the lower level here. Here's Wacker Drive. So if you ever see the Blues Brothers, this is the lower level of Wacker. See, it becomes a bypass, and they got areas you can park here. There's loading docks. Here comes the UPS. You see the loading trucks got these access road. They can access the buildings. There's lower Wacker Drive. So if you ever seen the Blues Brothers, the police chase scene at the end of the movie where they end up at Daley Plaza. That's where they filmed some of the footage down there. But here we'll head across the street. We'll head over to the Riverwalk here. We got the walk. So they got State Street Bridge closed. They've been working on this bridge here. We'll cross Wacker Drive. That's good. Thanks, Maya. Thanks for tuning in. There's the car making all the noise there. Get a muffler. But some people like to break people's eardrums. Especially motorcycles. Here, Wacker Drive. What a nice day. We got, here's a boat. Hey, look at that. Look at that. There's a pleasure craft heading right under the State Street Bridge. Marina Towers here. Yeah, let's head down to the Riverwalk and see. Oh, here comes some kayakers. Yeah.
Or I could get.
Is the stream still okay? Did I lose my quality? I'm always worried about going underground there. YouTube app's weird if it'll knock down the quality. But here's these kayakers heading by here. What a nice day to kayak. Juneteenth here. Head down the river here, the City Winery. Look at the kayakers there. It's a tour. There's the guy leading the tour there. There's people sitting on the Riverwalk. There's the kayakers. Yeah, let's follow along these kayakers here. Look at that. What a beautiful day. Yeah, it's a nice place. Thanks, Soundwave. Thanks for tuning in. Carlos, how you doing there? Tacos tuning in. Yeah, of course. Hey, the sun's back out. Yeah, let's head under here. We'll go under State Street. See if we get any architectural boat tours going by. Hey, there's a kayaker over there. We got this tour. There's a boat there. You can dock your boat right there. City Winery. Tiny Taps, the next one over. Hey, here goes the large barge here. Here goes the kayakers coming through. Yeah, Urban Kayaks. There's the Skyview architectural tour going through there underneath the State Street Bridge. Yeah, most cities have peaceful protests. Yeah, I agree, Lambie T. And hey, look at all these kayakers coming by here. What a nice day for an architectural cruise under Marina Towers, kayakers. Yeah, okay, let's follow it here. Hey, there's a bunch of people over here trying to stay dry. Yeah, I looked at the forecast. There might be a pop-up shower in the afternoon, but I'm hoping to be able to walk home along the lakefront and the parks there. We'll probably just head up Michigan Avenue and head right to Oak Street Beach after 5 o'clock. We'll do that on TikTok. Thanks for tuning in here on YouTube here. We're getting a nice stream here. We caught the symphony there. It was playing in Grant Park, but I wanted to take a little, go into the loop here. So we're back over by the river. Hey, people fishing here. There's always people fishing here. Look at what a popular fish. See, look how congested it is. They got people kayaking. We got people fishing. That's great. Hey, there's the dogs. Hey, the Riverwalk's back here. Look at the crowds here. Happy Juneteenth here. Hope you're having a good one. We are here. And I'm going to head back to the office. Yeah, I've live streamed from the water taxi. I've live streamed from, I want to do a kayak. I know it's hard with the paddles. And yeah, that's a good idea. See, I've live streamed. You see this yellow water taxi? If you go to my YouTube there and look at the reruns, we've done live streaming from the water taxi. And sometimes we went under a bridge when they were lifting the bridge when the sailboats were going by. I could send you that video if you send me a message there. I can send you a link to it here. But there's the water taxi. Chicago River there. There's the Trump Tower. And look at the kayakers heading by here. What a beautiful day. There it is. Hey, let's zoom in there. Hey, everybody's taking the water taxi. That's the cheapest way, in my opinion, to get on the river. It's cheaper than taking an architectural cruise. Here, we'll head through here. Here's the Vietnam War Memorial here. And they got the flags at half-staff, I assume, for Minnesota, or maybe for Juneteenth. I don't know why they got them half-staff today. Yeah, water taxi. Yeah, $20 all day. You can get the day pass. Since I live in Chicago, I get the 10-day pass. You can get a 10 ride for $25, and so that's $2.50 a ride, and that's meant for commuters. But if you're just, if you're just into town for the weekend, you might not want to buy 10 rides. I know there's other options there. I think it's $10 for one ride. But and there we just went by the city wine or city brew house there. There goes architectural crews coming by here. You can rent these little electric boats. That's another option. I could rent a little electric boat there if we get a group or something. We'll head by O'Brien's here. Yeah, thanks, Flory. How you doing there? Mid restroom mushroom. How you doing there? That's great. Yeah. There are the people. Let's see if they got the little pop-up shops open on the marketplace up here. They usually open it up by 4th of July. Here's O'Brien's here. Look how close they come to the kayakers there. There's people sitting out here. O'Brien's having a nice meal. There's a tall Trump Tower, 1,200 feet tall. And there's the Wrigley building, the Tribune. Got intermittent clouds here. We're upper 70s. Pretty pleasant day, not too hot, but warm enough to feel like summertime. Hey, look at those kayaks. See, they're in the wake there. They're rocking and rolling there. There, we'll keep going here. Public restrooms. Chicago Riverwalk. One Rare Gemstone, how you doing there? Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in here. Yeah, look at this beautiful view you get of the Wrigley building, the Tribune Tower. We're heading over to the DeSable, Michigan Bridge. Yeah, look at all this boat traffic here. Beautiful scenery here on a beautiful day. So yeah, that's a shoreline water taxi. That comes probably from Navy Pier. And there's the Wrigley, the Tribune. Yeah, let's check. Feed your head. Look at these nice murals they got underneath here. They only open this up in the summertime here. They got room for pop-up shops. Shy Boys Cafe, how you doing here? How you doing? That's great. Beautiful day. I'm glad this is back open here. Yeah, we have marketplace here along the Riverwalk here. And you can check out Shy Boys, Neighborly. They got these pop-up shops here. And they got seating right there. You can get a food and sit right there. There's the stairs that go up to Michigan Avenue. And here we'll head around here. Yeah, look at this beautiful view. You get to the Wrigley building, the Tribune Tower. And there's the Intercontinental Hotel there. Used to be the Medina Athletic Association, the Onion Dome there. There, we've been keeping pace with these kayaks. We're going the same pace as the kayaks. Look at that. They're probably heading back to over by Rio, or Taco Rio. That's where Urban Kayaks has a dock there where you can rent kayaks. Free admission today. You can go inside the bridge house. Hey, let's go inside here. Let's go inside the bridge house. I'll probably lose my connection. I see we went up there. We went up in here on, let's see what time it is here. $12:57. Let's give this a try here. I think it's free today here. Let's go in here. I'm doing film TikTok. If I lose my connection, stay on. And at the bottom here, this is the underneath of the Michigan Avenue Bascule Bridge, and these are the gears these things lift. This is the counterweight, and they talk about how it works and stuff like that. This is underneath the DeSable Michigan Avenue Bridge, and you can head up. Yeah, Cubs game today. They're playing the Brewers, right? Yeah, and I think the White Sox play St. Louis. So we want both the teams to win. Boomtown. So I'll head right to the top because I want to show at the top there's beautiful views out to the river here. And if you just joined, we're in the McCormick Bridgehouse here. We walked along the Riverwalk, and this is free. It's not always free. They have it free today, probably because it's a holiday. And we're taking a look at that. You can see there's the Fred A. Bussey fireboat. You can take tours on that. It's heading through. There's the Trump Tower. See, we were just down there. Yeah, the McCormick Bridgehouse. Isn't this nice? You can look out this way and you can see there it is. That's the Basque drawbridge. Look at that view. It's a little dirty because of the window, but we'll get to the top. There's the kayaker. Hey, look at that boat heading through there. And we did this on TikTok a few weeks ago because we were walking through here. No, I think it was in May. It was when they turned on the Buckingham Fountain. And we stopped in here and they were lifting the bridge because it was on a Saturday. And we got to see a bridge lift, and that reruns on TikTok. But I want to get some footage here on YouTube. I'm out of shape. Walking up 5 flights of stairs here. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, you got the window. Look at that. So here we are. That's a great view there. Look at that view to the Wrigley Building, the Tribune Tower. South Michigan Avenue Bridge. Look at that boat going through there. You streaming okay? You ever look out all 4 directions here. Hey, look at that view. Top of the McCormick Bridgehouse here, Chicago, Illinois. Loading up the boat there. Yeah, you can look down Michigan Avenue. Look at this. Look at that car going through. Looking south on Michigan Avenue. See the Millennium Park's right there. Hey, nice views all around. Hey, you came here for the Chicago Open House. I'm glad you're able to visit this in person. The stream okay? Hopefully I didn't lose my connection there. Hey, we got some McCormick Bridgehouse here on YouTube. See, I got these displays here. Let's get this boat going through. Look at that. What a nice day here. Happy Juneteenth here. Thanks for tuning in. So here, I got to get back to work here, so we'll head back down. I just wanted to do an overview if you're here. Sometimes this is free, sometimes you got to pay. Anytime I see it's free, we duck in here and show you what it is here. We're inside one of the bridge houses, and that's the same view the controllers get when they lift the bridge. They use the other, there's 4 towers. There's a kayaker, look at the kayaker through the portal there. Look at the kayaks through the portal hole there. Clear stream, good. And look at these views. You get out the work holes here. Look at that. Thanks for tuning in here. Appreciate it. Even got air conditioning in here. Electric switches. They got the old control that ran the bridge lift, the Basco bridges there. The electric is the controller working the bridge there. And you can spend more time here. Look at this old time photo here. Those are the old swing bridges that used to turn in the middle. You can find, they got a lot of storage. They show, look at the tunnels there was tunnels that went under the river. We talked about that. There's still some underneath LaSalle Street. They don't use them anymore. And if you just join me in the McCormick Bridgehouse here in Chicago, Illinois, we tooling around the loop, went along the Riverwalk. This is open, the museum here. So I just wanted to give you an overview. So you can go out to the street level. This is actually underneath the bridge here. There's all the gears that open up when they counterweight. Double-decker bridge here, Michigan Avenue Bridge, Chicago, Illinois here. So McCormick Bridgehouse. Thanks for checking it out here. And this is how you access it from the Riverwalk here. You can see we're down here, we went up 5, we went up to those windows at the top there. Heck, they got gift shop, they got some books, Chicago River, bridges, get postcards. There, look at that view, we're back. Look at that. Hey, look at So you can rent the boat there, you can rent the pontoon boats. Here, let's head right up the stairs here. So the McCormick Bridgehouse, that's what we just checked out. We were up there. We went up to the top, see the 5 levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And thanks for checking that out. Right here on the Riverwalk. Yeah, time to get back to work. You're right. Time to make the donuts. Thanks, Zoom Patrol. So yeah, I'm gonna head right up Michigan Avenue, and we'll head back to the office. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Hopefully it was a good stream here. We'll head up the stairs here.
Want to come back?
Hey, taking a stroller down. Wow. There's where Lower Wacker Drive is there. If you ever seen the Blues Brothers, they you can see the lower level there. You can see there's some doors. I guess you can get into the bridge house that way too. I'm not for sure. We'll head up to Michigan Avenue. Look at that amazing view. Wrigley, the Tribune, the Intercontinental Hotel. And see, we were just up there. We were just up there. You can rewind it if you missed it. Check out the rerun. Yeah, big walk there. Thanks, Mike. I'm glad you saw it. There, the water taxi's heading back over to the dock there. So, hey, happy Juneteenth from Chicago, London House, Trump Tower. Look at that view there. Hey, they got get all the drinks there. Look at the nice drinks they got here. Yeah, get your fruit. Yeah. We won't cross the bridge here. I'm just waiting for the light to change here. But there's that nice view. We'll head up Michigan Avenue tonight on TikTok. We'll head up to the beach. At least that's the plan. We'll see how the rain holds off here. Hey, we're just waiting for there it goes. We got the light. Yeah, mango. London House. There's a roof terrace up there. There's a bar at the top, Michigan Avenue. Crossing Wacker Drive. Hey, it's good to see people out and about here. Time to get back to work. Time to make the donuts. AC, yeah, there was air conditioning in the bridge house because it would get pretty hot in there, I'm sure. Hey, look at that. Yeah, the sailors from the Great Lakes Naval Academy, sometimes they get shore leave and they'll head down to Chicago. You'll see people with their significant others, boyfriend, girlfriends, in their Navy whites. It's nice to see that. There, we're heading down Michigan Avenue here. Hey, there's a pigeon. There's Garland Court there. Hey, they got the windows open here. Isn't that nice? Hey, Uncle Chicago. There's Clark, the mascot for the Chicago Cubs. We'll tell you when this Crimson Coward opens here, the chicken here, it's right next to the egg tuck here. And there we go. There's let's see here, boxing lessons. They got boxing lessons here. Yeah. There. I felt a raindrop. Hopefully that's. Hopefully just when I thought the rain was gone, we got this big storm cloud. Hey, there's the bean. So if you rewind, we saw the real bean at the beginning of this. You can always rewind at YouTube. That's a good thing about that. You can watch the full stream here. That's why I switched to the app. I was trying to stream on Streamlabs and I had problems, so we eventually switched back. And we'll head across here, Water Street, Michigan. We'll head back to work and then we'll be back on after 5 o'clock tonight. Germany, how you doing there? Thanks, Barbara. Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, the app is sketchy. I know. Sometimes is the picture quality, did it degrade? I was worried. Anytime I go inside, like the McCormick Bridgehouse or down to Lower Wacker, I'm afraid like it knocks down the resolution and then I never get it back. And that's why I'm not crazy about the YouTube app. I like using Streamlabs, but there's positives and negatives to using Streamlabs as well. And it hasn't been working. It's been really glitchy lately. But maybe it's just because it doesn't know where I'm at here. Hey, there's the view up to the John Hancock, North Michigan Avenue. We're going to cross the street here. So here's this classic view to the Wrigley building here. Hey, look at that. Skating along. Yeah, look at that. Michigan Avenue. Happy Juneteenth. Hope you have a good one. Thanks for tuning in here. We'll be on TikTok after 5. I'm going to head back to work. So thanks, everybody. Have a great day. And hey, how you doing? That's good. Hey, that's good. Yeah. So, Michael, we're in Chicago, so you can watch the rerun there. I'm about to sign off. I got to go back to work. But here, Michigan Avenue, here, we're back in Chicago. So I'll be on TikTok tonight after 5. Tomorrow, usually at lunchtime, we stream on YouTube here. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, all the mods. And we'll see you in a few hours, okay? Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Happy Juneteenth. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, everybody. All right, bye.